Hey everyone, today we're doing another Friday night movies. Or is it Anna Saturday? I keep on forgetting
Who
when it comes
knows?
to Toy Story.
Oh,
I continuously forget. I'm Matt. We are those guys. I'm here along with Tristan. Hello, Tristan.
hi, Matt.
And today we're talking about Toy Story 3,
Mm,
and it's come to this: the day we stop being friends.
oh, God.
So you and I have I don't think we have vastly different opinions, but I think for some reason this movie has hit you much harder than it hit me, even though,
Apparently.
but it's odd though, because when I look at it,
What's that supposed to mean?
by the books,
Uh-huh.
it makes much more sense that I would be as passionate about this film as you are.
Oh, wow, you went easier on that than I thought. I would have used distraught, but that I appreciate passionate. That's a better way to put it.
Tristan cried for an hour and 60 minutes. But Matt, the runtime was only an hour and
I know what
42.
I said.
You heard me.
Did I
Um
stutter?
so anyway,
No.
no, but
No.
I
I did
here's
not.
here's the thing, right?
The last
Uh
half hour of it. Shut up.
you have to get closer to your microphone if you're going to be mean to me. It's hard for people to hear you.
No.
Um okay, so here's the thing for some people that are wondering why it's affected you this way and why it affected me this way. And if I start speaking for you and you want to cut in, please do. Like too much, but like if I'm wrong about it. Both of us are 92 babies.
Yep.
So when we saw the first Toy Story, we were 7.
We were wee
When
babbies.
we were what?
We were wee babbies.
Yes, we were. And then the second one was when we were 9.
Yep.
No, actually 10. I believe it was '02 actually.
Yeah.
Um, just want to make sure in this little mini
Right.
rant. I'm pretty sure it was no, it was 19. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm
No.
the idiot here. My
Yeah, no,
bad.
we keep having this right. It's
So,
earlier than we expect.
yes, Toy Story
99.
yes, 99 was Toy Story 2. The first Toy Story was 95. Point
Yes.
being is that I saw it on VHS, the first one. I definitely don't think I went to a theater, but I saw the first one on VHS when I
Yes.
was growing up. And then I must have seen either I remember when they compiled the two and just threw them out in theaters, and I went with my dad, my stepmom, and my little brothers who were little at the time. Now they're not so little anymore.
Right.
Uh, but we saw both of them in theaters. But when it comes to Toy Story 3, it hit us at a very important time in our
Well,
lives. We had just graduated high school.
yep.
So even though it would have been nice if it was a year earlier, still we really were right there with Andy's
Andy.
character.
Yep.
And I think that's why it resonated with us. And I'm not trying to say that it can't resonate with anyone else. If they had already graduated, or some of the kids who are watching now that they've gone back to watch it as they're either graduating high school, or if they already did graduate and they're like, wow, that was me last year, or several years prior.
Yeah.
Um, that's definitely happening. Don't get me wrong, but it is something that I think spoke to both of us. I think the difference, though, is I don't know. For some reason, and I don't know why, it didn't speak to me as much as it spoke to you. So, would you be able to kind of tell me why this resonated with you more, perhaps? I mean, I know you can't really compare it to me. You don't know what's going on in my head. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But why do you think like it really hit so close to home with you?
Well, I mean, Toy Story was my childhood movie. Like, I I still have the VHS tape, and I would be
I do as well.
surprised if it still worked with the amount of times that I played the first Toy Story.
You know
Um,
what part of the movie, the VHS tape? Because if for some younger viewers listening in, you can wear out VHS tapes.
yeah.
Um, so I think the part that is not worn out at all is the part where the toys murder Sid. Because I only watched that once. I probably skipped over it every single time.
No, I love that because that was, Sid getting
That
his
was spooky.
like so play nice is I love that scene so much.
I mean, fair. I'm saying that when they all came out like that, it was just. I mean, just in general. I mean, even with the first one,
Out of the ground, that was amazing.
looking back on it now, it's metal as fuck. But at the time, I was scared. But so yeah, so Toy Story was your childhood movie. It was mine as well. But I think maybe perhaps you held on to it longer than I did.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it also had very much to do with the time that this came out,
Right.
and just the idea, like, I I personify things a lot. So a movie about toys with personification really gets me and
Oh
hits.
yeah, I never saw it coming. Uh,
So, and I love these characters. I love this humor. It had been so long since, a Toy Story had come out. Since 3 came out in 2010, and I never thought we were gonna get it. Like, people would joke about it here and there and be like, yeah, yeah, all right, very funny, and then it actually happened.
and it's weird because I don't know, maybe it was too long for me, even though it was the sweet spot personally, and I'm happy that they made the jump to having Andy be in high school
Yeah.
and graduating because they needed to do that to really kind of tie together this trilogy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because they waited so long. Maybe it's because at the time I was a bit more cynical than I am now because now I think there's more stuff that did make me, tear up than when I initially watched it. But what really throws me off even now, even though it was still, a very impactful moment and I acknowledge that, is you crying and others crying, not just you, when as if the
Damn right, not
toys
me.
no, but I know it's not just you, but as if the toys are actually going to die a horrible death.
I mean, they got damn close, way closer than I ever wanted them to get.
And again, that's fair. I mean, them all holding hands it touches me.
I can't.
Yeah, no, like it really gets to me, especially now. But the idea that they were like, look, if there was like some
Like, in the back of my head, well, that's the thing. Like, even when I saw Avengers, I think it was Endgame, or no, it was
Infinity War.
yeah, Infinity War, because I saw Endgame with you.
Yeah, exactly.
When we saw Infinity War, I was with 3 other friends. One of them being Anthony Toto, who has also been on our casts.
Star Trek Thursdays.
So me and Anthony are emotional people in the sense that the emotion kind of takes control of the ride, even if our brain is like, yeah, we know how the story, like, yeah, we all knew everyone would come back and blah blah blah, and I won't.
If we call him right now, he's still crying
Oh yeah.
to this day.
Oh, if you called him right now and I said we're doing Toy Story 3, he'd probably start crying too.
I just have to softly be like, "You've got a friend
Oh,
in me."
look at you, like, stop it right now.
No, but you know what's so odd for me personally? I cry during a lot of stuff. Like I watch,
That's the funny
movies
thing,
and I cry so much. TV shows. I was cutting some tomatoes and I was crying and I was like, these aren't even onions, which made me cry more. I cry a lot, but for some reason I was teary at certain points. So like, I can't remember the dog's name. Not referring to their toy dog. I'm referring to the real dog.
Buster.
Buster, thank you. Buster being older made me tear up.
When he walks in, Buster, no, come on, give up.
Yeah, no, like, because the fact that Woody was trying to ride him as if he was like still a young puppy again, like that made me tear up. Bullseye trying to come with him, and he's like, "No, I don't want you to be alone." Like that made me tear up in the attic. For some reason, it feels like the dogs of the movie got
I
me.
may be old, but I still got a spring in my step.
Yeah. So I love. By the way, so speaking of funny quotes, we have far too many, so we can't just throw them all out there.
That's the
I'm
thing.
not too sure if that was a Lincoln log.
The humor in the movie is still spot on with the other two. The only thing that I noticed as the movie went on and seeing it again, it's so much darker. Like, there were some dark jokes in Toy Story 1 and even in 2 here and there, but like this one is just like, hold
Well,
up here.
it got to a point. Certain movies around this time. I don't know if it's the trend is still continued, but certain movies around this time, they were trying to go for that teenager, adult audience, like not just for the kids going to the movie, also for the adults
Yeah,
coming in as well. Now you could argue Toy Story 1 and 2 also had that to a certain extent, but I
yeah,
think that in the jokes they were trying to go for stuff that only an older crowd would get.
right. Or even not even the jokes. I mean, yes, jokes, but like even just some of the scenes, like especially when Buzz breaks out of Sunnyside, he breaks out of the room and he goes to talk to Lotso. Like they torture him. They actually torture him.
Yeah, no, that was very James Bond esque.
Yeah,
That was very enhanced interrogation esque. I was like, oh,
and I mean, like hats off to Tim Allen for that scream. Like
yeah.
switch to demo mode, and it's like, oh god.
Something that I find very interesting, the cast. It was a star-studded cast, I would argue.
Yeah.
So, not only did they get everyone back from the second film. By the way, something that I think we may have mentioned when we did the
Almost everyone.
podcast on Toy Story 2. Unsure if I mentioned this, but the actress who played Barbie
Mm,
actually played Ariel
right.
in The Little Mermaid. So right then and there, I was like, "Oh damn!" To me, that was immediate. Even though she was already in the second one, so this was just her returning. But
Right.
looking at Michael Keaton was Ken.
Right.
That's fucking insane to me. Also, by the way, Jodie Benson is the name of the actress that played Barbie and Ariel. Also, do you remember Stretch, the octopus?
Yes.
That's Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm sorry, excuse the fuck me. What?
Right?
Like, there were some other people as well. Oh, Kristen Shaw as Trixie, which we for it was either for Halloween or Halloween in July. Pretty sure it was our Halloween in July, one of our specials. We talked about Toy Story of Terror, which is one of those TV specials that came after Toy Story 3. So Trixie was actually in that, and
Yeah.
Kristen Shaw had reprised her role there for her. That was so fun. Um, let's see. Just there was someone else that got me. I'm just trying to find the names. Anyway, so what were your thoughts on the voice acting? Because I thought again, just like the first two, they brought their A game.
Oh, yeah. Everybody brought their A game. Like it so many years and everyone still felt like they were all in character, like perfectly. I
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely feel the same as well. Oh wow, he's right there. Buttercup was played by Jeff Garlin, who I don't know if you're a fan of the Goldbergs.
I
Uh,
love the show.
you've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He plays the dad, Murray.
Right. Yeah.
So he played Buttercup, the unicorn,
Yeah.
which I think is hilarious. Even though the unicorn didn't get that much screen time, but still,
Yeah.
you see a unicorn, you're like, I assume they're going to be a big part of this movie. Um, yeah, I think it's my issue looking at the plot, looking at it aside, divorcing ourselves from the end and stuff going on with Andy, which I think the conversations with Andy and his mom, or his mom with the other mom. I
Yeah.
forgot what her kid's name was.
Bonnie.
Bonnie, thank you. Um, putting those aside because those are great moments and impactful moments. The plot itself, even though I'm happy there was no big reveal, so they got it out of the way that it was, it happened within the first like 30 minutes. Like the first 10 minutes of introducing Lotso, we know that he is actually this bad guy. They're not doing some big, huge reveal towards the end of the movie like with the second one, but it still
Oh,
felt rehashed.
the prospector.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the prospector, but it still felt rehashed. And I think that was the weakest part of the film, I think, really, is a villain that is also not a villain yet again. Who's been hurt before. I mean, I guess at this point you could argue what else can you do
I
with a
mean,
toy villain?
yeah.
But
I would say that Lotso definitely has fallen further than Pete, though. Like, Pete was selfish and he was willing to, sacrifice Woody, to get into the museum and sacrifice their happiness. But like Lotso is just imposing a tyrannical rule on everyone in Sunnyside.
Maybe it's just because he was playing the Southern prison warden, but for some reason Kelsey Grammer seems more maniacal as Pete. I don't know. Maybe it's just his voiceover work.
Yes.
No, I mean, I hear where you're coming from, but it still feels like it's a rehash nonetheless, at least of a motivation, and it feels like you just went to that well, and arguably it was years prior, but still watching them close enough together, it doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem fresh.
All right.
Because it just happened.
Yeah, I guess that is fair.
Yeah, and that's the issue, is that because he is the main villain, arguably, the main villain really is Father Time. But because he's supposed to be the main villain, somewhat, I guess, if you could argue that. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, and I think that kind of, I guess, somewhat took me out of it. Only because, again, like, they just had gone to it. If it was like you skipped a movie or something, I have no problem, eventually, if you do so many movies, you go back to the greatest hits or something like that. But it had just been in the previous film. So, but again, though, I'm happy they didn't try to BS their way through it. Like, oh, is he really the bad guy? Like, no, don't you worry. Yeah. This guy is as much of a schmuck as you thought he was when you first met him. I was like, okay, good.
Something snapped in Lotso that day.
Well, yeah, I think that his recanting, Chuckles is his name, recanting. By the way, his actor plays Eeyore, but not original Eeyore. He played him in 2011.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else he played, but specifically I saw Eeyore, and I was like, that sounds like... Chuckles sounds like he's close enough to Eeyore.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
And you were right.
Yeah. But anywho, yeah, his recanting of the story, it hurt, especially with the baby. I mean, literally, it's kind of sad that it's eternally a baby. That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's a baby doll. So it's like, I want mom, and like him just kind of abusing that doll like that. I think when he hit it with the cane before baby, like, essentially threw him into the trash compactor, like you mentioned, through text.
Darth Vader throwing Palpatine.
Yes. Before him doing that, when he hit the baby, I actually cringed. I don't know. For some reason, the baby looks too real. So when he hit him and the baby kind of went back a little bit, I was like, ooh, I know it's a doll, but fuck.
Yeah.
But, yeah, again, it's just the plot to me didn't really draw me in. But of course, I also, and I'm sure, you feel this way, Tristan, but you want to be nice to me, I shouldn't give a fuck. Because it made us all sad. And that's what mattered. The sadness.
I mean, no, I understand where you're coming from, and really you're right. And if these movies were closer together in release, I feel like that probably would have been more of a point.
Mm-hmm.
But with the time between them, like, I didn't actually really think about that until you just brought it up right now. And you have a point, you're right. But I feel like the time between them, like, that doesn't weigh as heavily on it, for me at least.
So how did you feel? And I know you were very upset about this. Not upset, but you were like, oh man, about the cast, like the characters being reduced heavily.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of knew that was coming, because, like, even when you see Andy's room, and it's like, yeah, he's going to college, he's 17, like, yeah, he's probably going to have donated or gotten rid of some of these other toys. But the fact that, like, Woody's talking, and, like, it makes sense that she's not here, because...
She being Bo Peep.
Yeah, but it was like, he's like, yeah, like, Woody recounting, like, I know we've lost a few along the way, Wheezy, and Rex just looks at him and goes, Bo, and he's like, oh, God, I was like, yeah, and Bo.
There's, yeah,
like,
I mean, I remember the backlash, like, people just, I don't know, like, it felt very, people were not happy.
No,
And I'm not even talking about now. I'm talking about at the time. Like, and if
yeah,
anyone's thinking, from a 2019, 2020 perspective, depending on when you're listening to this, perspective of like, oh yeah, social media backlash, you know how it is. No, no, no. This was 2010. This was before Twitter.
right.
Twitter did not exist. Facebook existed. Twitter did not. You and I had migrated over to Facebook from MySpace. I don't
Yeah,
think you had a MySpace, did
I do
you?
not have a MySpace now.
Okay, I had a MySpace. Don't Google that. And I'm sure it's still up if the website even exists. But anyway, so I migrated over to Facebook, and people were upset on there a little bit, but it was nothing like how you could be upset now on Twitter very quickly, very,
Yeah,
I'm talking about like lightning speed sharing and stuff like that. But it was on Facebook, so it was either through Facebook or just through people just talking to them at our high school. Well, we had graduated, so some older friends who had graduated, or even at college, people were just like, "What the fuck? Why is Bo Peep not here?"
yeah.
I did not hear one person go, "Ah, man, it makes sense. It's what had to be done." No, everyone was like, "Fuck you. Well, why no
No,
Bo Peep?"
Bo Peep does feel like a part of the main group of toys because she was always, granted, she never really left Andy's room or anything like that, but she was always in talking points with most of them. Or
Yeah, and it's
at least,
weird
at the
because
very least, in the first movie.
it's very weird because I don't believe it had anything to do with the actress. I don't believe it did. I believe it was just a creative choice that I think backfired.
Yeah. And I mean, the only reason that I say it makes sense, like not like the
No, no,
actor
no, you're right.
story, but like story wise, like yeah, and like she was part of a lamp in
Oh,
the
right.
first
I
one.
oh,
So
I
like
thought of it more like she was a quote unquote girl's toy and he's a man. Like I thought of it like that cuz remember,
yeah,
the only quote unquote girl that he has as a toy other than the Potato Heads, which they're married,
yeah,
is
Jesse.
Jessie.
Yeah,
So cuz Barbie was his sister's.
right. And that's
Funnily
what I
enough.
thought. Like I figured Bo Peep would be in his sister's room,
Mhm.
but
At least.
yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be, and she would like walk across the hall and be like, "What happened, guys?" And then that there she'd be, but no. So yeah, I was a bit upset about that
No,
too.
yeah, again, it makes sense narratively. It's just one of those things where everyone called bullshit. Nobody
Yeah,
was happy.
right. And I feel like the biggest kind of the stomach punch in the weird way is that, and like I this is kind of weird, but like in Toy Story 1 and 2, Woody and Bo Peep are kind of a thing. So,
Yeah,
and then Jesse and Buzz are supposed to be kind of a thing, which comes to fruition here.
which is good.
And then like they even have a little funny thing with Rex and Trixie by the end, and like the Potato Heads, like everyone has their significant other, and then there's just Woody, and it's like, oh,
Woody looks around at all the happy couples, and
right,
Slinky's just like, "Hey, Woody, how's it going?" Yeah,
basically.
you know, it's going.
Oh god,
All right, cool. Talk to you later.
yeah. See you later, Slink. Woody opens the fridge, pulls out a 6-pack, turns on the TV.
Speaking of that, I really wish Woody had went to college. I want to see Woody get buzzed.
Oh,
I want to see Woody going, "Is that smoke? Fire! Fire!" And then going, "Nah, actually, man, I'm pretty cool with this."
somebody's poisoned the water hole.
I want Andy to like talk to his friends like, "Dude, I got so high my toy was talking to me."
Oh my god.
I want Woody to be like,
Oh,
"You
there was
talked to Andy?" No, you don't
yeah.
understand. He
He
was
was like,
talking to a lamp before he talked to me.
uh, Woody, just ham like Woody. I don't know how to tell this to you, but
I told him he should have gotten a haircut.
say
This is what happens.
that.
No, just Mrs. Zetahead. Our little Andy has become a beatnik.
Oh god. I
Um,
told him to stay away from that devil's lettuce.
Jesus Christ.
Right, right. Oh, but no, Woody even makes a joke when he's talking to Bonnie's toys when he's about to. Or no, was it at some point
I don't
he's
think he made a joke about pot to any of the
no,
toys.
no. He says, "I'll see you at the sock hop," and it's like, oh, Woody, oh no. Like the whole idea of him being what was it like a 50s? Yeah, because we were talking about this in two, and then there's also a lot of theories online about like was Woody his dad's toy. Of course, you never
Yes.
see Andy's father.
Yeah, yeah.
Was Woody a hand me down from his father to Andy, and that's how he has him.
Right, right, yeah.
Just
Also, I loved.
Woody's dialogue. It's like, yeah, no one calls it a sock hop anymore. Woody, you're a bit behind the
Oh,
times.
and I love when Woody was just like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to the attic and we can see the old TV." And I'm like, "That's so funny." He's like, "We
Right.
get to watch stuff on the old TV." It's like, "God, you're old, Woody."
I think what killed me the most was, and the guys from the Christmas decorations, we like them, right? And Mr. Potato Head's just like, oh yeah,
I was expecting a follow up of, "Well, once a year they're gone for like a month."
right.
Um, oh,
Oh,
I
like
loved how the baby.
one big party and the race car
Yeah,
track. Yeah.
I love how the baby basically was a bouncer at some points. Like it really felt like
Oh God, yeah.
he was just like standing there menacingly like, "Hey man, ID."
No.
Uh oh man, this is embarrassing. It really is.
Oh God.
I must have left it in my other pants. You should go find them. Like he just there's
Return
something
him to the chair.
there's something about this baby.
Oh,
Obviously, we see in the backstory that he's seen some shit,
oh
but
yeah.
like it's not like he's just seen some shit. Like I don't know, it seems like it's weird because the character that they have for him is no, I just listen to Lotso. I'm just a little baby, but like he looks like he's seen shit.
Yeah, I mean he's also intimidating too because he's
But
a
he doesn't know that he's intimidating. That's the funny thing about it. Like he's
yeah.
just like, no, I am little baby. Like it's like no, you look like Rex in Andy's playtime. Um,
Right.
yeah, like where he had where he. By the way, I love how the beginning of the movie opened up.
Yeah.
Everyone in the theater. So I did see this one in theaters, by the way. I forgot if I saw it with friends or if I saw it for my brother's birthday, because I think he may have had a birthday or he may have went to a birthday and I was just watching him as a chaperone or something. So I did see this in theaters somehow, and I remember people freaking out when Barbie met Ken
Yeah.
because obviously,
Yes. Right. Oh,
um,
yeah, Barbie and Ken are together by the end too. Which
which
I'm glad they're the ones that got to take over Sunnyside. Like, because Ken was kind of like, you're not a bad guy, but you're also not sticking up for anybody. What are you doing? And then by the end, he turns it around, and it's like, yay, everything's groovy.
yeah, I don't think they play that right. And it might just be a
Yeah.
runtime thing, but it felt as if he wasn't just going through the motions. It felt like he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this because I enjoy it." So I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, it didn't connect with me that he was like just doing it because, like, well, I mean, lots. So if I don't do this, then what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know. For some
Yeah.
reason, it
No,
didn't click.
still kind of a coward, but
No. He's a coward, but it didn't. I don't know. It cowardice is one thing, but for some reason, it clicked as if like he was okay with it.
I mean, I think it was just mainly the idea. Like, yes, he was okay with it, but it was also like, hey, look, I can't stick my neck out either. If I do, I'm going to end up in the dumpster. So, like, I have to kind of go along with it. It's like, no, you don't. But, I mean,
I think it just feels weird for me because even though I'm happy that they took over the place and everything's fine, just him being with Barbie at the end is odd with everything that happened in between.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's a kids movie, so I should, again, it's one of those things where it's like, Matt, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
But, but it's just one of those odd things where it's like, they're happy.
Barbie keeps him in line anyway.
Yeah, like you just said, Barbie keeps him in line. Hopefully, no, because for me it looks like yes, he trapped you, in a jail cell. However, he has a dream house, and it's like excellent. I'm shocked that I think it's Mattel. I'm shocked that Mattel was like, yeah, we don't want Barbie and Ken in the first one. Although I do get that. Then in the second one, they're like, yeah, Barbie can be like a cute antagonist, but not really antagonizing, but an antagonist. And in this one, it's like, yeah, no, Ken's gonna be a fucking warden.
Yeah, right.
Prison guard, not a warden, but a prison guard. And I'm like, interesting how money talks. I wonder if it was just them thinking the first one wasn't going to be successful.
Probably.
But once it was, they're like, do you want him to like murder someone? Because I mean, if you pay us enough,
totally chill with that if you pay us enough.
Exactly.
No, guys, we're not going. No, really, I think it would be great for his image. All right, guys, easy.
I'm surprised that with all the outfits, we didn't see cock ring Ken. Do you know about that Ken, right? I don't know if this laugh is I remember or I don't know what Matt's talking about.
Yes.
The last one? Or
yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh,
no. I think it was in the 90s.
Are you allowed to discuss this?
You've got a okay, so
no.
Wait. Yeah, this is going to a place. So
is this going to be in the extra credits?
No. This is all real. I'm not like shitting you here.
Okay.
In the 90s, Ken got a redesign because they wanted to make him like cool and hip. And whoever the fuck designed him, for some reason, like their research, I don't know who the fuck they sent them out to, who they sent out specifically. Sorry, a little tongue-tied. But they sent them to raves at the time. Not realizing that there was a huge gay male rave scene.
Right.
So they had him in one of those like see-through black shirts.
Right.
Because it is the 90s, so that makes sense, okay.
It was the style.
And they had him have a necklace. And they didn't realize that the necklace symbolized a cock ring.
Oh.
I'm not shitting you. That men would wear at the time. I forgot what the purpose was because it's been a while since I read the article. But I laughed my ass off because they didn't do this for representation purposes. They were just like, oh yeah, he looks cool and hip, like someone who goes to the parties, right, kids? And it's like, you just put a cock ring
on your toy.
Barbie's husband, and people already had their suspicions.
Oh yeah.
Before that.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah.
I wonder if that's why they made the jokes they did about Ken. Probably.
Well, I think it's just I don't know. I think it's just the general jokes that have been made for years. And you know what it is? It's weird because like I don't think there's anything wrong with going, no, Ken definitely does seem like a gay man. It's weird when it's being joked about in a movie like this where it's like, see, it's funny because he's effeminate. Yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to do that shit. Yeah. It's 2010. Don't.
That is definitely one thing in this movie that I was like, wait, guys. No, that's not funny.
Yeah. Because the thing is that, like, you don't have to make a gay joke about Ken. You can just say, look at Ken. But, like, seriously, though, you look at Ken and you're just like,
okay.
Clearly. But
at the one point when he's in, the judo outfit, and then he's like, Barbie, and she just jumps him and turns his head around like, you're going to tell me where that fucking manual is before I fucking torture you. He's like, there's no way you'll do it.
Hold on a second. I got to check. Was this movie PG-13? Because they are allowed one fuck.
No, this was PG.
Damn it.
Oh, no, it's G. Wait, no. G? Holy shit.
For good times. I mean, again, they didn't do anything extremely inappropriate.
No, but like...
Ascot, you'd think that'd get them a P.
I figured the fucking dump would have gotten them PG.
No, it just affected you.
Apparently.
No, let me... So you have the Blu-ray? Is that why you can see the rating?
Yeah, well, I'm also on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Yes, right, you jumped on that Disney Plus train.
Yes, I did.
That's fine. I will once The Mandalorian drops completely.
The Mandalorian. Yes.
No,
That is why I have Disney Plus.
I know, but once that entire season drops, that's when I'll drop some cash on that.
Granted,
Um,
Clone Wars, the final season, is coming out next February, so also for that.
yes,
But
it
yes,
it leads right into it for you.
exactly.
But
I am
anywho,
the Mandalorian. This is the way.
so when looking at God, if I only remembered where we were.
Like, I guess it's the idea that, like, a lot of the dark undertones you don't pick up until you're much older. Like, a lot of those jokes in the first Toy Story movie I didn't get as a kid, but then later on I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, I'm wondering what the ratings were for the original. Toy Story 1 was
they're all
also
G.
G.
Yeah.
Interesting. And also 2 was G as well. Very odd. All right. Anyway, so I mean, I guess they're just too family friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, but the two main things about Ken, like the actual joke I think that was made was when
At
when
the end with the crayon with the
yeah,
color and the way he wrote it.
Woody, I don't think Barbie wrote this, and everybody's cringing. It's like, all right, so Ken has very nice handwriting. Fuck off.
Yeah, it was just odd.
Yeah, that one was odd. And again, it's the end credits. It's always the end credits.
Oh yeah.
But the other one was when the bookworm comes out, when Barbie gets the information to say, oh, we can change Buzz back, we just need the manual. So she wears the astronaut costume.
Right, but she has heels. That one I was kind of okay with because it felt like Bookworm is like, I'm just not even going to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
To be fair, it sounded like a general, like, this is none of my business.
Yeah. I mean, it just, like, he scoffs a bit and just, like, turns away. And, like, yeah, you could just chalk that up to him being like, I don't see why this couldn't have waited till morning, but here you go.
Also, this is a side note. I'm getting back into some plot stuff.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or I don't know, maybe it's because I'm 27 and I feel like it's like, oh, I'm free and I feel like these toys should be free. While I don't want them to be completely Attack on Titaned by these children. Oh, come on. You're telling me, like, on that, like, you're telling me that, like, you can't hear them being like, on this day, toys realized.
Oh, no, that's
the perfect description.
No, that is I am agreeing with you wholeheartedly. That's why I shuddered. Like, that scene where the kids just pour in, and it's just Buzz's reflection in his helmet. His helmet just whooshes close. Like, I love scenes like that where there's not even dialogue. It's just an action. And that was the perfect action.
I did laugh at that, though, a bit too hard. Like, just the fact that the helmet shut the way that it did, I was like, all right, that's fucking hilarious.
All by itself, because he's just like, oh, dear Lord.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the time. It's done with this shit hour.
It's fuck o'clock.
Yeah.
Or there was another one, too. Oh, right. When Baby throws Lotso in the dumpster and then closes the lid over it. That would have been the fuck right there. When Potato Head goes, holy cow. I'm like, in the original script, you had him say, holy shit, didn't you?
So, yeah, what I wanted to... two things. One, back to what I was getting at before, though, where, being free, while I understand that they don't want to get Attack on Titan by these children,
yeah,
they also don't have to go back to Andy. Like, I know you had to have it make some, sense. It's like, but we have to get back to some central place to then be transferred over. So I get it.
Fine.
But
yeah,
it's one of those things where, like, Woody could argue his point, and I agree with his point. Andy did not want to leave you. That's fair.
Right.
But, like, they want to be played with their toys.
Because they even say, like, Jesse even says, we need to do what's right for us now. Like, he's all grown up. Even Buzz is like, like you said, you would message me the line, our mission with Andy is done. Like, he's not a kid anymore. He doesn't need us anymore.
And that's why I feel weird in that, yes, everything worked out for the best, but, I mean, I don't know, in the moment, it kind of feels like, and maybe they were just trying to do this on purpose, both arguments have a point.
Yes, yeah.
And I guess you could argue that that's the whole point. No one was wrong.
Right.
Which is nice.
That's the contention point for the group itself. I do love, though, that like in a way I love and hate it at the same time, because then it makes the rest of the group seem like, no, you're right, Woody, we were idiots. It's like, no, you guys were doing the right thing for
Ex-
yourselves. You just ended up going to a hellhole. That's all.
yeah, exactly.
But
Oh, yeah.
oh no, it's the sorry, I'm trying to think of the line. I just had it. Um, oh, when Woody comes back and like they realize everything, and they're like, oh, Jesse's like, oh, we should have gone with you. Um, and Ham looks at Potato Head and he says, yeah, and you didn't believe him, like every other movie.
Yeah, there was some stuff in this. I'm not gonna go into character depth in this movie. That's not the point of this movie at all. Because it's
Well,
interesting that like when I say character,
always the one yelling at Woody in the first movie. And Buzz even, do you remember when you threw him out of the back of that moving van and he didn't give up on you? He's like, oh, you had to bring that up.
yeah, that's why I don't want to get into all that stuff because it's not really about. It's about the way the situation changes, but not necessarily the characters. Because at this point, I mean, it's been 8 years since we've seen them. They've all become somewhat different off camera. Like I mean, again, like they're all focusing, other than Woody, on the fact that like no, like we're outie, like we
Yeah.
do not need to be with Andy anymore. So I'm not really gonna get into like, oh, they were different, or it's retreading the stuff from the first movie because of the character. I'm not gonna do that. But one thing I do want to mention, speaking of characters, happy I brought it up. Totoro.
Right. Yeah.
No, like I thought you thought I was fucking with you.
No, I remembered it as soon as I saw him in Bonnie's room. I'm like, oh shit, right.
But I don't remember, or maybe I do, and it's been a while.
Probably that.
Totoro being in it the first time, because when I first saw it, I was familiar with Miyazaki's works,
Yeah.
but I think the only one that I had seen was like Laputa Castle in the Sky
Right.
in full.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think I had seen bits and pieces of his stuff when they aired it during different blocks on either Toonami or Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
but
right.
I didn't see them in full at all. I still haven't seen certain groundbreaking films of his.
Right.
And I don't know why, it just has not happened.
You've still never seen Spirited Away, right?
No. I saw Spirited Away.
Okay.
I saw Howl's Moving Castle.
That
I
one.
saw Laputa Castle in the Sky. Funny fact, they don't call it Laputa Castle in the Sky anymore because of what Laputa means in Spanish. They
right.
actually just call it Castle in the Sky.
I...
Oops.
Oops. Oh, I didn't. Oh God, I didn't actually realize.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just hilarious. It would be like if Princess Mononoke, hijo de puto. It's like no, fuck, no, cut that one out. Cut that last part. Why should we cut the tagline out? Just don't call it that. Just don't
That one I've
call
seen.
it that. So it's really fucking funny that it's just like, oh, because I was like, why did they cut out? Oh,
Oh.
like as a Hispanic person, it hit me. I was like, oh. So I've seen Castle in the Sky, saw Howl's Moving Castle fairly recently, and I saw Spirited Away. I haven't seen Totoro, and I haven't seen in the forest. I can't. The name is escaping me.
Gonna need to be more
The
specific.
one that takes place in the forest.
Gonna need to be more specific.
It's environmental themes. Gonna need to be more specific. I will start singing "You've Got a Friend in Me"
Stunner.
just to get you to cry. I will swear to
I'm
God.
serious. I'm not actually like fucking with you. I'm serious. There
Oh,
are
okay. Sorry. Let me
movies
look at.
in a forest with environmental themes.
I mean, no. I mean, Spirited Away, but like it doesn't have, as far as I know, it doesn't have any
Princess
like.
Mononoke, but you already mentioned that one, so I'm assuming you're talking about Nashka and the Valley of the Wind.
I haven't seen that.
Also, I have, and it's my favorite one now.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, and
You might also be referring to Secret Life of Arietti, Secret World of Arietti.
I also haven't seen that. Although I could swear that wasn't a Miyazaki film. It was a Ghibli film, but I don't know if it was a Miyazaki.
Yeah, you're right.
So yes, so wait, so
We're getting further and farther from.
no, we're not. Totoro's in this movie. It all matters. Totoro's in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, so I've seen Castle, haven't seen Totoro, haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies. Oh,
I
I
have,
saw Kiki's Delivery Service. I knew I was
yeah,
missing something.
yeah.
I haven't seen Porco Rosso.
No,
Uh, didn't see Whisper of the Heart. Did not see Princess Mononoke. Sorry if I've been saying that I have, but I saw Spirited Away.
right.
Saw
That
Howl's Moving Castle,
everyone was like losing their shit over for the longest time.
which
Spirited Away,
understandably so.
which I get.
I've seen I have not seen Ponyo.
I did enjoy it. I've seen Ponyo.
I didn't see The Wind Rises. I didn't see The Tale of Princess Kaguya. And those are the ones that everyone talks about that I haven't seen because that matters right now. That's clearly what this whole episode is about. I have to say, transitions are hard, Tristan. The animation in this movie. No, we can. No, that's a good transition because we're talking about Miyazaki. The animation in this movie. It's crazy how far they came from the first two.
Yeah. Literally, I saw this movie in theaters, and when it opened up, like my jaw nearly fell off my face. I was like, "This is fucking gorgeous."
I mean, it looked better, and people who play games are gonna be like, "No shit," but like, still, it looked better than video games that came out around that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue the Toy Story 3 game looks worse than this.
Yeah. Yeah, everything was just so polished and beautiful.
No, it's
And like
crazy.
that opening, just fully animated, the opening of Andy's Playtime was probably the best way to open this movie with.
Well, it was a joke, but in a good way because
Yeah.
of course the other movies or second movie had something similar. So it was like, how could we top that? And it's just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Right. And then we follow the theme of the rest of the movie when the video clip cuts out and Andy Newman's voice is trailing off into a ghostly whisper as the film deteriorates. And it is that moment that my heart sank into my chest and I realized, right, this is the story of when they leave.
Yeah, I felt so bad because you were like, that's when my heart dropped. And I was like, why? Like, their friendship's never going to die. And it was like, I had to sit myself down and be like, Matt, what's the point of this movie, you fucking idiot? And I was like, that's true. You're right. I am a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only
like, well, oh no.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Like even in the theater when I saw it the first time, I think I had popcorn and I almost dropped it. I was like, oh no.
You're like it's like Andy dropping Woody.
Oh, oh God.
Oh my God.
My Woody. Ah!
So I just feel like some of the sadder moments didn't really again connect, as I mentioned when we started this thing off. We started this off on a really terrible note. But what I do want to say though is the interactions between Andy and his mom, Andy and his sister, and Andy, not even just Andy actually, Andy's mom and Bonnie's mom.
Yeah.
They were all so real, it felt like they were legitimately plucked out of real life.
Yeah, they were incredibly organic.
And it's kind of insane, both in the way that they acted and in the way that it was written.
Yeah.
And I know it's the whole point of a movie, I get it.
Right.
But I don't know, something about it, something that I've enjoyed, and we've said this before about the other Toy Story films, it didn't feel like they were talking down to children.
Right.
It felt like they were presenting a good movie, like a movie for anyone who would like to watch it.
Right.
But of course it is geared towards children in certain way, like them not saying the word fuck.
Right.
Geared towards children. Like certain things, yes, made it child friendly, but it wasn't trying to be like, okay, kids.
Right.
So we're at the OK Corral today, and what do we say? Yay, love each other. Like, it's not trying to be this, like, really off-putting, odd educational program.
Right. It's just presenting a story.
Exactly. Which is the point, which is what you want to do as a filmmaker. No matter who it's for, you want to present what you believe is a good story, not one that's like, oh, we have to act like we're, the toys are, like, bending a little bit to look down at the camera.
Yeah, right.
Do you see Buzz in this photo? It's like, this is, no, yes. I mean, I do, but I don't. I feel like I feel like I'm being what's it called? I feel like I'm being patronized.
Right. And I think that's why even as a kid, like I like granted I probably didn't realize that as much as I do now as an adult, but like I think that's why I liked Toy Story as a series so much growing up.
Those games, man.
I mean, well, the games came after.
No, I'm well. I mean, it's funny. We didn't play the first one on the Super Nintendo, but
Right.
the second game
Yes.
for the PS1,
Yeah.
oh,
Good times.
oh, and on the PC on my end. I don't know if I
Perfection.
still have it, but chef's kiss.
Yes.
Um, so I don't want to be a stick in the mud, but apparently that's my role on this episode.
Apparently.
Um,
I mean, would you rather be the emotional mess?
yeah, I'm good. So my question for you though is, and I feel like I know what your answer is going to be. I've known you for over a decade now,
Okay.
but I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to
Oh.
ask you: do you think Toy Story 4 has ruined this ending?
See, I can't really answer that constructively because I still haven't seen Toy Story 4.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not saying that it's a shitty movie. It could be the best movie out of all the Toy Story movies, right?
Well, let's not get crazy.
I'm shooting for the moon here. Maybe it's
I
the
know.
best movie, right?
I've heard that it's done some very interesting things. And I know it has like Keanu Reeves plays Duke Kaboom, Canada's #1 stuntman. Like
Ah,
kinda
shit,
wanted-
it might be the best one.
I kind of wanted to
Fuck.
see it just for that.
Fuck, it might be the best one. Look, I'm just trying to say, Tristan, is that with a regardless of how good or potentially bad Toy Story 4 is,
Yeah.
creating a story like this that even if they didn't mean to, with the first two, ends up wrapping up so perfectly into a trilogy.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the perfect moment to have Woody and the rest of the gang, quite literally in a sense, ride off into the sunset.
Right. Oh. Oh God.
Do you think
Oh.
it, because normally, right, like the people who said, the new Ghostbusters, not the afterlife that's coming up, I'm talking about 2016 2015 Ghostbusters, some people say that ruined the first two Ghostbusters. It's like, what? No, it's a reboot. It quite literally didn't ruin it at all.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's you think it's stupid. It's the exact opposite. We've talked about all three Ghostbusters movies.
Right.
And look, of course, Ghostbusters 3 would have been great, don't get me wrong, but depending on my mood, sometimes I feel like the all women's Ghostbusters is actually better than the second one. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes it fluctuates. So point being though, Tristan, is that in that case, I don't really get it. Like, no, it can't ruin it because it's not a sequel. Quite literally, it is a reboot.
Yeah.
However, being a sequel to something that wrapped up so, in my opinion, gracefully.
And I mean, and that's basically part of the reason why I haven't seen it yet, because Toy Story 3 is the perfect way to wrap up this story.
Mm.
And I think 4 leans more heavily into the idea of the toys themselves in this world, and that's getting into some really crazy philosophical territory. So I really don't think it's going to be that, family friendly, like, oh, the toys are always there for their kid, and like that warm fuzzy feeling. I think we have departed from that completely. And I'm also slightly terrified, even more so because of that.
So I'm not saying that, it ruins the trilogy completely. Again, I also, I think I should have mentioned this, I also have not seen Toy Story 4. I'm just saying that, it, like you had just mentioned, it wraps up the trilogy so well, Toy Story 3, that I don't know. For some reason, I'm just going to level with you here, man. Having a Toy Story 4, in a sense, also detracts.
Yeah.
It's not like it was heavy because I'm not a teenager anymore. Like, I think as a teenager, I would have like held it against it if there had already been a Toy Story 4. Well, because like, it's kind of like having one of the, even though I don't hold it against it now, it's kind of like having Solo, even though that is a prequel to be fair. And when we reviewed Solo, you were telling me like, man, like it was crazy the stuff that they were getting into, and I'm like, but we know they're gonna get out of it. Like we have like we have like 4 movies after that tell you that Han is gonna
Yeah.
be like all right. Well, maybe like the end of that 4th movie, maybe not, but like there were 3 movies after Solo in continuity that show you that Han's gonna be like a-okay.
Yeah,
So
no, I get you.
yeah. So I mean, I knew like when I was a teenager, yeah, I knew that they weren't gonna like die in the incinerator or anything. But it looking at it now, still it's impactful. But the impact is taken away by you know potentially 3 more sequels. The little shorts don't bother me because they're just cute little things that are just trying to keep the franchise alive. And again, they're just little tiny shorts. Like I'm sure they're not all going to be good, but like they're just cute little things that some of them air around the holidays, some of them don't. I'm
Right.
surprised there was never a Christmas one.
They're just fun little jaunts with, the Toy Story crew again.
Exactly. Like it's not meant to be taken seriously, but you create something like Toy Story 4, especially with that marketing campaign behind it.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to, and they even talked about the possibility of a Toy Story 5, and I'm like, what's going on here, guys?
I think my favorite part of that was just seeing memes of people being like, Woody takes on God. And I'm just like, whoa, what the, what's going
Leaked
on?
leaked Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC confirmed.
Yeah, right?
Now hold on a second, partner. What's your name again? Sephiroth. Dun 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 dun.
Sounds like no one's ever loved you before. Damn!
My God, gets.
Woody burned the final boss harder than Sora ever did.
It's okay though because what happens is right. They're fighting. Remember that if Sephiroth is in his world, he's a toy. So Andy picks him up and he's like, What's happening?"
Oh my god.
He's like, "I don't know who you are." And then because he thinks it's like Sephiroth is so pretty, he thinks it's like a Barbie or something. So his sister's like, "No, this isn't mine." They throw him out, and then Sephiroth meets Sid.
Oh
And
god,
speaking
bringing it full circle.
bringing it full circle. So speaking of Sid, there was a fun cameo.
Yeah. We found out what happened to Sid.
So if some of you didn't pick up on it because he didn't like, come out like burning up toys, it seems like he's a well. Actually, yeah, it would make sense that he is a garbage man now because of the fact that he was older than Andy at the time. I don't know how old Andy was, but Sid was the mean older kid.
Yeah.
So he's not a garbage man at 17.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, no, I forgot how old Andy was in the first movie, but let's say he's, 10. Sid was like 13.
Yeah, something like that. Not crazy, but enough that there is a little difference.
Yeah.
But he's still got that same skull shirt on.
That's why it was interesting, because like I sort of noticed, but not really, and then you told me, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, I guess I don't know if that was ever like actually confirmed, but like it's the same T-shirt, so like, come on.
No, I mean, no. It has to be. I mean, why would he's in Andy's neighborhood? He's working that route. He has
Right.
the skull shirt on. He's older, but not too much older. And,
I mean, the funny part is they moved in the first movie, so it's not like they're neighbors anymore. But
oh right, I forgot. But I don't think they moved to like another state.
yeah,
they?
no, I don't know, but I wouldn't think so.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fine. They're fine. That's Sid. That's totally Sid. But I enjoyed it because I feel like it was a cameo that made sense.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, haha, Sid's a garbage man because his life sucks. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to go that route because like
Like-
garbage men are dope. But it's the
I
fact
really
that
hope Sid got better after that incident with the toys.
it looks like it looks like he mellowed out a bit.
Yeah, I think he's chill. I
Well,
hope.
no, the reason why I like it is because it's a cameo that made sense. It's a tie into the first movie that makes sense. Like if we saw Al, I'd be like, all right, this is weird.
Yeah,
Like why is Al here? I mean, it's even at this point, it shouldn't even be a franchise like Al's Toy
yeah.
Barn.
He's just like driving past the house. It's like I will. Andy's mom is just like, if I see you here again, I'm calling the cops. It's like,
If I see
whoa.
you here again, I'm calling the cops. Doesn't make any sense.
And he drives away.
Um, yeah, and also it's so funny. I kind of teared up a bit, at least mentally, when he was talking about all the toys with Bonnie, and then he mentions Pizza Planet, and I'm like, oh, it's not even around anymore, probably.
Whoa!
I mean, well, actually, no.
Do that to me.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. Pizza Planet has to be around. It was like Chuck E. Cheese. It's a franchise. Watch, fucking tomorrow they're going to be closing Chuck E. Cheese's across the goddamn nation.
Or it's like Sports Plus.
What?
Exactly.
Oh shit, Disney got into sports and created a sports streaming service.
I hate you.
Here, I'm kidding. They have ESPN. But God, it'd be so funny though. They're like ESPN is getting changed to Sports Plus.
You hear that, SpongeBob? We didn't need to buy a hat.
No, I've heard of Sports Plus, but I don't know what the fuck that means. So thank you for not explaining that.
It's fine.
Could you explain that?
No, I don't think I will.
Fuck you.
It's a local thing.
Yeah, and I lived local. Tell me what the fuck's going on. I lived by you for years. Tell me what the fuck's going on.
It was like the place everybody had their birthday parties as a kid. It had like, arcades and rides and bowling and
I
like
don't know. I don't know if I'd call Pizza Planet felt very much like a Dave and Buster's. Like it didn't feel like a local location. It felt like there's like multiple ones across the US.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the Chuck E. Cheese of their universe.
Yeah. Cuz we went to some I can actually say this because she's been on Those Guys Play. We went to that mini golf place with Rachel.
Yes.
That's very local.
Yeah.
Even though it was nice and it was horror themed, that was very local. So not local to us actually. We had to drive a bit to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's like a very like you could just tell the feel and the vibe. Like it's not a chain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we mentioned Sid. Oh, Flamenco Buzz. So let me tell you why he's funny. I know that there's subtitles at the bottom and everything,
Yeah.
but I'm still deciphering what he's saying, like, because my family speaks Spanish, I'm Spanish. So, like, I'm just, like, sitting there and I'm just like, interesting. Yes, Buzz. And it's like, Matt, there's, like, subtitles right there. And I'm like, I know. Shush. Shush your brain. What? Shush reading. I'm going to interpret via my ears. But no, that was cute. I mean, it's weird that the last movie would have a long-running Buzz is not speaking. Yeah, well, Tim Allen isn't playing Buzz angle when it's the last movie.
Yeah.
It is weird that they spent the movie that way, but I mean, at this
way to bring back OG Buzz from when before he had his epiphany of being a toy.
Yeah.
Switching him to demo mode and then holding the reset button down too long and making it look like he died, which he then looks like he dies later on in the movie again too, and then just coming back and being in Spanish mode.
It was funny, don't get me wrong, and I actually looked up because I really wanted to see how they did it.
Right.
And it was so awesome because I looked up how other countries.
Yeah, literally one day you were just like, so, what did they have him speak when, it was in another country that is Spanish?
Well, no, yeah, because what happens is so my abuelita, my grandma, she watches a lot of Spanish television. So she used to, not really anymore, but she used to have on it's like Telemundo, I believe it was. And they would have Disney movies and other animated films dubbed into Spanish. So when she was recovering in the hospital, we had on, I think we had on Telemundo. We didn't have, yeah, I'm pretty sure we had Telemundo on. And Bugs Life was on in Spanish.
Right.
And dude, it's crazy. The voice actors, it feels like they just plucked out people who could do impressions of the U.S. cast. Like the big giant fat bug sounded like just a Spanish version of himself.
Yeah, the Heimlich, the caterpillar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's actually hilarious.
no, it was. It was just insane to hear that. So I thought of so I've I always think about the Spanish side of things. Not always, but like every now and again. And so when they do little jokes like this, I'm like, how did they translate that over? Like I was under the impression they were just gonna get Tim Allen speaking in English.
Right.
Like I thought that would have been funny, but no, they just had thicker and thicker Spanish accents
Right.
depending on the region. So when they had Spanish that wasn't Spain Spanish, I can't think of the official terms. So when they had General Spanish, I believe that's the term I could use. Buzz was in a thicker accent, but then when they went to Spain Spanish, his accent was even thicker.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like the actor was talking with like marbles in his mouth. So you can hear it, and it's kind of funny because I literally thought, because it's kind of like with Dora the Explorer. I don't know if you know this, Tristan, but in Japan she teaches English.
Huh.
Well, because as great as Spanish is, I will I'll push for Spanish. But
Yeah.
why do they need to learn Spanish when they want to? At least the curriculum teaches their students to dominate the English speaking market.
Right. Yeah.
Now, sometimes I've heard some cases of general schooling, like how we don't teach Spanish and French and other languages to a speakable like level.
Yeah.
Apparently, Japan does that with English too in their school systems.
Which
But
is arguably harder.
yes, but it is interesting though because again, depending on I think how far you get in the schooling system, or if you want to get into business, they'll teach you English more. They'll tell you, hey, you should definitely learn English. So I don't know. To me, it makes more sense that Dora would teach them English over Spanish.
Right.
Just looking at the markets that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So she teaches Spanish. She teaches English, and I think there's some other interesting things as well with with other kinds of educational shows and stuff like that. So so you want to see, if someone's making a joke and they're using a foreign language, but it's a language that is not foreign in your region. I'm always curious to see what they do with that.
Right. How they handle that.
Yeah, so I thought, apparently someone said in the comments, because this was on a YouTube video that we saw, that apparently even though Buzz spoke thicker and thicker Spanish, instead of saying, the manual's in Spanish, apparently Ham said it's in Japanese. So, because it would be weird, because again, they're all speaking Spanish. It would be weird if the rest of the manual's in Spanish. It's like, but you're reading Spanish.
Right, yeah.
I think like the only shows rather that can kind of get away with that is English dubbed anime,
Right.
where it's like, look, we have to say the phrase, oh, you're speaking Japanese, or oh, your Japanese is good, because like, bro, we're in Japan.
Right, yeah.
We're speaking English to the fans, but like we're in Japan. What are we gonna fucking do about that? But in this case,
hilarious.
What was that?
I said those are always hilarious.
Oh yeah, I know. Your Japanese is impeccable, and I'm like, it sounds just like English. Whoa. Anyway, so anything else you want to say before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I mean,
End of an era until the next one.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, I mean, like I said before, this one's kind of personal for me because Toy Story was a real big one for me growing up.
Mm.
So seeing that whole story come to fruition, and just seeing Andy grow up, and I mean, we were just about. It's also the timing too. Like we were also graduating high school.
You could pull off an Andy. You cut your hair. You beatnik.
I mean,
You could pull off an Andy.
Not with my frame, and I also don't have freckles.
Who cares? I mean, you could barely see them in this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, hey, I have a Woody and a Buzz, so
Yeah, I'm just saying you could be Andy.
I mean, I suppose.
What you should do is you should be Woody and have an Andy toy. Fuck with everyone's minds.
Including my own.
Yeah.
That terrified me, but also made me chuckle, and I don't know how to feel about it.
You know what terrified?
I should be Woody and you should be Buzz, because that would be cool. But now my brain is just like, what is happening? What is life?
Let me tell you what got me nervous, and I think my mind is just stuck in the past. When Bonnie was waving with Woody, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna rip the arm off. It just got sewed back on. Be very careful. No, because my mind is like, it just got sewed back on.
Right, Andy just like screams out, "Careful, that's the one I sewed back on!" Oh my god.
Woody screams when it gets ripped, and everyone's like,
To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
No, it's because of the fact that Woody screams out loud in front of everyone.
Oh, that
They're
too.
like, Oh, here's something we had to mention. I can't believe
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4, Toymageddon. The war has gone on for far too long.
My god.
You know, I'm shocked that we went this long without mentioning Totoro. At least, or maybe I mentioned it earlier and I forgot.
No, yeah, we definitely mentioned Totoro.
Fuck. Okay, Toto fuck. No, but honestly though, like, how crazy is it? I think we must have like skimmed past it though, but I don't want to skim past it. Like, Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro was in a movie, even though he had no lines, which made sense. But he wasn't like a random character. Like, he wasn't like. I'm sorry. I should explain. I'm sorry. He didn't have like a 15-second cameo like you would expect.
Right.
He was anytime you were with Bonnie.
Right. You saw him.
He was there.
Right.
And he was smiling, he was interacting. Again, no dialogue, to be fair, but like, that's crazy, right?
I guess Bonnie's mom or Bonnie's family is, they're just Miyazaki fans.
Yeah, right? Nerd alert. Oh, I love that we saw the Sarge with the other soldiers at the end, just kind of flying down as if like they just had some crazy ass shit adventures.
Yeah, right? If that's not a short, I would be surprised.
Yeah, I gotta be real with you. This movie was like okay. I want to see what Sarge was doing. Like if the actor who played him was still around.
Right.
Sadly, he passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
I would want to see what the fuck they did. They've been through some shit for this hour and 40-minute runtime. What was his name? Let's see. Yeah, his name was Sarge, the character. Yeah. And R. Lee Ermey, who he always played sergeants or other kinds of military personnel, and his voice was just iconic. He played a prison warden in an episode of SpongeBob. He played he was in the movie Seven. That movie's not it's not in line with Toy Story. Oh, he was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. All right, also, I know him.
Toy Story.
What?
Also not in line with Toy Story.
That is true. You know what? You're right. Actually, yeah. For some reason, that one slipped by me.
I was about to be like, Matt, do not try and tell me that Toy Story and Texas Chainsaw Massacre have anything to do with each other.
I mean, the way the cleaner kind of applied a new face onto his toys really was like how Leatherface applied a new face onto his face.
My God.
No, but Ermey used to be a Marine Corps staff sergeant. So he basically this was in his blood.
Right.
So him being Sarge, let's see. He's been in so much shit. The one that I remember him from is Full Metal Jacket, though.
Right.
Which, that's also not in line. There's a movie called Toy Soldiers. Is that one? No, it is not.
No, it is not.
Okay, good. You know what Toy Soldiers is.
Oh God, yeah.
The plot revolves around an all-male boarding school overtaken by terrorists. This isn't Toy Story. Either way, though, he will definitely be missed. He passed away, just last year.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that on the news and it hit me. I was like, oh, yeah. Man.
Well, it was Don Rickles, too. He played Potato Head. Passed as well.
Yeah, I believe they used his archival voice footage for
Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, yeah. Either way, though, if he were still alive, because I don't want to hear someone do an impression of him.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's for a movie and it's a short thing, you do what you got to do. But like for a full-on short, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Right.
But I would have loved to have seen what the hell went on with them for that, for all of that, because it's a lot.
They're also, I'm trying to get out of the breeze. How do we get down? Well, the wind's got to die down sometime, right?
Also, while Buzz is dancing with Jessie in the credits, I could swear to God he was about to do a wrestling move.
Oh my God.
No, like when he swung her around, it looked like he was about to hit her with the Hurricanrana.
Oh my God.
No, look, I'm sorry. It looks like she was about to hit him because it looked like one of those tilt-a-whirls.
Right.
You've seen them where like they kind of go around the opponent a lot and then boom, Hurricanrana. It kind of looked like that.
I mean, honestly, I could see Jessie doing that.
Fair. It was, it was cute, the end credits, but it's such a weird thing to end an entire series on. It's just that dance.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it because, I mean, they're flamenco dancing and, as a Hispanic, I'm like, yeah. I love oh my God, Totoro. Again, Totoro's just always around. Like, it's the cutest thing ever.
Right.
I don't know. I'm so happy that Totoro's around. I don't know. No, it's a cute little thing. That's what it is. Like, and
another nice one for full circle wise was when the aliens who got hit with a bulldozer as soon as they get dropped in the dump, which was just like immediate gut punch. I'm like, oh God, they're already dying.
Yeah.
And then they come back at the end to save everybody after they've accepted their inevitable death in the pits of hell.
The claw.
I will never forgive you for that, Pixar.
I gotta say that made me smile very hard. Just them going, the claw. I was like, that brought a tear to my eye. I want to say in theaters.
Them lifting them out with the claw, and then Potato Head actually leaning in. It's like, you have saved our lives, and we are eternally grateful. And it's like, he is a dad, and he's like, I love you, sons.
Yeah, because it was the first one when it was like, I'm not your dad, right?
Yeah, no, it was the second movie. That they meet them because they were in the Pizza Planet truck.
Right. So so it's like, but it's just so cute. It's like, you know what? It's been 8 years, and you saved our lives, my boys. And I'm like, oh.
I'm like, you finally hugged your adoptive children, for fuck's sake.
Oh man. So yeah, I would have preferred this to be the big end because it was just so sweet.
Yeah, it's perfect for it and completely wrapped up for it. Yeah.
So, pause for a second. Not pause for the whole episode. Just a quick. Sorry, I had to interrupt you. Apparently, Gypsy Kings performed "You've Got a Friend in Me" in Spanish.
Huh?
Because I was like, that's not Randy Newman.
No, yeah.
I'm going to safely assume that's not Randy Newman. Anyway, sorry. What were you going to say?
Yeah, it just. I don't really know how to put it in words, I guess, or in this moment right now, to really pass on how kind of impactful this one was for me. Because, yeah, it really was emotionally charged for me, and it's not, like, more so than a film will usually get me with. And, like, I get a certain level of emotional with things that I view, but, like, this one specifically. Like, at one point, you were just like, what did I do to you? And I'm like, I don't know!
I don't think I ever said that. I think you were just having a full conversation with yourself at that point.
I mean, that's also possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just what it was. Because I
Yeah.
know what I did to you. It's just that again, like this movie affected me differently.
Yes.
Which is just odd because we both were like Toy Story fanatics growing up. But this movie affected me, a little bit differently. But yeah, but I'm happy that this was the conclusion because yeah, if it only had two Toy Story movies, that would have been
Yeah.
like I understand. It's interesting if they had brought it back, with Toy Story 4. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been as impactful, but or would have been more or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's weird because there was such a long gap. So I think maybe also what it is too. I want to note is that you didn't have little brothers, so maybe it felt longer for you because you had not like. Because me having little brothers, I felt like I had seen the movie a lot closer to its 2010
Right.
release
Yeah.
date.
Well, I mean, I saw it in theaters too, but
No, no, no. But like, I ended up seeing it on DVD more because we were, we lived together, or we would, I would go over there to hang out with them, and they're
Right.
like 10 years younger than me.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is that like maybe for you it felt like it's like, oh my god, so long, and I was like, not really.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm wondering why. Because like normally a movie like this, I'd be like tearing it up
Yeah.
all over the place. Um. Oh, the God, just looking at how amazing this movie looks. Lotso's fur, and of course Totoro's by extension. You
Right.
could just see every little detail.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it looks really good.
Yeah. And like all the colors and everything were so vibrant too.
I mean, of course we're watching the Blu-ray version, but still,
Yeah.
it just, my God. I mean, and you look at Toy Story 4, and I'm pretty sure it's much better, but also the budget was like crazy expensive. But this one, I forgot what the budget was for this one. Okay, so the budget was 200 million,
Damn.
but to be fair, they made back a modest, and you can't expect too much from a third movie, Tristan.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
All right.
a modest 1 billion.
Fuck yeah.
They made a little over $1 billion. So you know what? Actually, I kind of understand why Disney was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Do you want to not make $1 billion off this corpse?" And it's like, "All right,
Yeah.
fine. We'll make $1 billion off the corpse." But then we talked about it, and like, actually, no. Apparently, at the box office, Toy Story 4 did also bring in $1 billion. But it's so weird. At the time, it was doing very poorly, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Or, maybe they're taking into account foreign as well, which if you are, then they did not make a full billion.
Right.
I know it's silly to be talking about like full billions when we do not have anything close to that in our bank accounts.
Right.
But yeah, it grossed over $1 billion. It grossed a little bit over Toy Story 3, like 1.73 billion.
Wow.
No, like no, because like Toy Story 3 was 1.63.
Yeah. Because I feel like Toy Story 3 was everybody who grew up with it going to see the conclusion, and then 4 is now those same people, but now coming in with their children,
Exactly.
relatives' children.
Exactly, and that was the point of this movie. But no, but I could swear the amount there was some because we talked about it on Keikaku Corner on our other podcast a
think it was
while back.
Opening weekend, they were like, "Oh, it didn't break over 1 million or something."
No, no. It broke over 1 million, but it didn't break over. Here's the thing: even if it broke over 1 million, it's a thing where the movie made 500 million, and it's like, ooh, sorry, that's not good enough for us. And it's like, maybe then don't make a movie.
We didn't beat out Infinity War.
Well, it wasn't that it was trying to beat out. I think. Oh God, did it come out around that time?
No,
It wasn't.
after, but
It was in June. It was close enough. No, it wasn't trying to beat out Infinity War. As we're wrapping this one up, we mean it, guys. It wasn't trying to beat out Infinity War. It was just the fact that because of the marketing budget as well as the film budget, they said some weird thing where it was like, oh, it has to make X amount just to break even. And I'm like, then maybe don't make the fucking movie. How could you say it has to make like double its budget? Or like double and a half of its budget. It was something like that, just to break even. Like I'm pretty sure, even though they made over $1 billion, I swear to God, Disney's like, yeah, it's respectable.
Yeah.
Even though like, it's $1 billion motherfucking dollars.
Right.
Anyway, so anything you want to say before we wrap this one up?
I mean, I think you said it best with Andy riding off into the sunset.
No, not Andy. It was Woody.
Well, yeah.
Woody and pals. Andy's riding off to get high.
Oh my God.
Without his mom, without having to like sidestep his mom every
jeez
day. He's gonna like college.
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. That, it's funny. Again, I'm happy that we moved on, but that would be funny to see again.
Andy in college?
And no, well, at this point now, Andy with kids.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Not that he wants them back or anything. He doesn't like turn into Al or something, but...
Oh my God. Like, he just goes... He finds Bonnie. Yo, you still got my toys? What did you do with them?
I'll give you more. I'll give you eBay value for them. I'll double it. I'll triple it.
Oh my God!
I lost them at a carnival. He looks over. He looks over at like two dudes in a suit. He puts on his glasses. He goes, "Take care of this."
Oh my God!
He walks away.
Holy shit!
I forgot.
Going on in this candy-coated heart of darkness?
I forgot if Toy Story 4, because again, I haven't seen it. I don't know if it like went into the future or it was just like, fuck all of you. It's just a fun story. Deal with it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's in the future because I know at least they're with Bonnie.
No. No. What I mean is, I know they're with Bonnie. I meant like, is it in 2019 or because that would be 9 years later? Right. I think Bonnie would be.
That's fair.
Too old for toys.
Too old for toys, he says.
But the way the movie makes it sounds like apparently people get too old for toys sometimes. I don't know.
I know.
Anywho, love you all. Take care. Thank you for listening to another episode of whatever the hell this was. And if you're listening to this through our YouTube channel, Those Guys on the Radio, please remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening to this through our Podbean, we're on Podbean now. Thank you all so much for doing that as well. And tune in next time when we talk about something completely different, although probably if this is not coming out in the new year, in 2020, we're talking about Toy Story 4.
Oh, damn.
And I'm going to have water injected into my veins. That's not good for me. I've been having problems with my throat today. I need I need gallons of water.
There you go.
I need like a little, we talked about this before, Tristan. I at my desk, I need a little like hamster water dispenser.
Yes, you do.
That's what I need. All right. So yeah, thank you all so much. Love you all. Take care. Tune in next time. See ya.
You've got a friend in me to infinity and beyond.
Until the next one.